Today's lesson is on solving exponential equations. So to start out with just a little intro, if you have a base to the power of x and then a base to the power of y and they're equal, well, they can only be equal if and only if x equals y. So that's just kind of like common sense, I guess. So 3 to the power of x is equal to 3 to the power of 5. What's the value of x? Well, if they have the same base, you have to have the same exponents. So x has to equal 5. All right, so here is our first example. 3 to the power of 4x plus 2 equals 3 to the power of 8. Well, the first thing you need to look for is your base. If your base is the same, then all we have to do is set our exponents equal to each other. So 4x plus 2 has to be equal to 8. Now this is just a basic algebra. Let's see, subtract 2, subtract 2. So 4x equals 6. Divide by 4, divide by 4. So x equals 6/4, which is the same as 3/2, which is 1.5. So we're just solving for x, and that is it. Now here is where it gets a little tricky. In this example, I have 2 to the power of x and 8 to the power of 3. So my bases are different. So our goal is to rewrite one side so the bases are the same. So let's see, 2 to the power of x is equal to, can I rewrite this 8? Well, I know that 2 to the power of 3 is 8, and then I have to raise that to this third power. All right, so now power to a power means to multiply your exponents. So 2 to the power of x equals 2 to the power of 3 times 3, which is 9. So x equals 9. So then you can always check, is 2 to the 9th the same as 8 to the 3rd? All right, same idea. You look at your bases first. So I've got base 3, base 9. How can I rewrite this base with base 3? Well, I know that 9 is 3 squared. So this turns into 3 squared, but it still has this exponent, 2x minus 1, equals 3 to the power of 6x. All right, so now, power to a power right here, we multiply our exponents, but we have to multiply to both of those. It's like the distributive property. So this becomes 3 to the power of, so 2 times 2x is 4x, and 2 times 1, so minus 2, equals 3 to the power of 6x. Once the bases are the same, now you can just set the exponents equal to each other. So 4x minus 2 equals 6x. And now we solve for x. All right, so we have x's on both sides, so I need to get them onto one side. So I will subtract 4x here and here. So I have negative 2 equals 2x. And now divide by 2, divide by 2. So x equals negative 1. All right, here's the last example of this format, and then I'm going to do a couple more challenging ones where we have to deal with fractions and negative exponents. All right, so I've got 4 and then 64. Think of this as like 64 just to the power of 1. So how can I rewrite 64? So I've got 4 to the power of 2n minus 1 equals, well, I know that 4, let's see, 4 to what power is 64? 4 to the 3rd power is 64. I don't actually need those parentheses. I don't know why I put them there. Once the bases are equal, set your exponents equal. So 2n minus 1 equals 3. Add 1, add 1. So 2n equals 4. Divide by 2, divide by 2. So n equals 2. All right, this example is a little challenging because of this fraction. So we're going to be dealing with negative exponents. So I have one base that's 1/5 and one base that is 25. Well, I know that 5 squared, so I know, let's see, 5 squared is 25. I know, let's see, 5 to the power of -2 is 1/25. Okay, what if I had 1/5 to the power of -2? If you have -2 in the denominator, well, then it comes up to just be 5 squared, which is just 25. All right, so I'm going to use that idea over here. So I'm going to keep the left side the same, 1/5 to the power of x plus 2. I'm going to change this 25 to 1/5 to the power of -2. Because 1/5 to the power of -2 is 25, but I have to raise that whole thing to this power, to the power of 2x plus 5. All right, so this looks complicated, all these parentheses, but here we have just power to a power, so I need to multiply, but I have to distribute to both. Okay, so 1/5 to the power of x plus 2 on the left equals, so this is going to be 1/5 to the power of -4x minus 10, because -2 times both of those. Now that the bases are the same, set your exponents equal to each other. X plus 2 equal to -4x minus 10. All right, so we have x's on both sides. Let's add 4x and add 4x. So x plus 4x, I've got 5x plus 2 equals -10. And then let's see, minus 2, so 5x equals -12. And then divide by 5, so x equals -12/5. So there is your full lesson on solving exponential equations. We will revisit this concept when we get into logarithms, but for now, get your bases equal and then set your exponents equal and solve for x. Good luck.